Almost 2 years ago, we left it all behind for a chance at the sailing adventure of a lifetime.
It has not been smooth sailing since then, but together we are learning and laughing our way through.
Our hope is that if we laugh long enough, we can make our merry way around the world.
And this
is a Millennial Falcon. Oh, the sun just keeps looking better and better. It's crazy. Adzi, what do you think of my new tick decks?
I think they're very nice.
My new
I
decks.
think the anchor locker is particularly good looking. It's annoying though, because the more we do, the more cosmetic things we do, the more it highlights other things that aren't as good. Like when it's all faded and patchy and whatnot, you don't notice the dorades. But when the hatch trimming and the grab rails are nicely varnished, well then it shows up the dorade boxes look like a bag of so-and-so. And so you got to do them next, and then before you know it, it's like, well, we just have to redo the whole boat.
Exactly. And all of a sudden the white doesn't look as good.
Yeah, exactly. Then you'll do all the varnish and you'll see the edging is not perfect, and then you'll do the edging and you'll see the toe rail paint is not perfect, and then you'll see the toe rail paint and see the stanchion bases aren't perfect.
And that's how people end up having museums instead of sailboats.
Yeah. I mean, but I think we both discovered that it's nice to do these things.
It's like you don't always look in your engine bay and you know, pat yourself on the back for how pretty it looks, but when you look at outside your boat and look at your dorade boxes, you're like, oh,
no, but
I'd
like to get there as well. Like, I'd like to get to the stage where we look in the engine bay and we're like, it's good.
Of course, yeah.
It's straight, it's clean.
I know.
It purrs like a kitten. It's it's dry. It's there's no oil. Everything works. Everything's run in a sensible way. We'll get there. That's after Christmas's job.
Yep.
With a new propeller.
Today's job is to look at the sunset.
So we've the weather's been a little bit rubbish since our abomination of a barbecue on Sandy Island.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Just this side.
I'm turning the camera off.
This side's no good. But the other side. And we went back to Tyrrell Bay for a couple of days and just sort of, it's very crowded, and we wanted a bit of a change of scenery and some quiet time to do some work. So we moved around to Hillsborough, which is a much larger bay, much less crowded.
And where it's obviously not quiet because
it's not
there's
quite,
like
the town of Hillsborough is
festivals
quite
going
booming.
on.
But we went over to, we have friends in the dive shop here from when Khiara did her open water course at Deefer diving, and they were lovely enough to let us just kind of loiter and get some work done there, so we don't have to like smash the batteries and worry about Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
So we've been there for a couple of days just working and hanging out, and lo and behold, after a couple of conversations and a couple of chats, Khiara's going to do her advanced course.
Yay!
And I'm going to do a refresher course, so we're going diving tomorrow, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So it's the first time back on the tanks for me in like 10 years, 15 years, and Khiara's now going to be
for like a year for me as well,
yeah,
so it'll be a good refresher. Yeah,
excited about that.
Yeah, so that's tomorrow's plan. So
and Monday.
Yeah, and Monday.
3 days. 3 days.
The following day, we woke to beautiful, clear scuba diving conditions.
Diving
day! It's diving day!
You look like you just rolled out of bed. Because you have just rolled out of bed.
I know, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning or something. We don't need to get up this early. It's just that we were so afraid to like miss this wake up call. Even though it's like just not even a minute away in the dinghy, we just got up ridiculously early. So we're gonna have a coffee and then we're gonna go over to the dive shop. But eager beavers. It's now about half an hour later from leaving the boat. Arrived on shore, ready to rock and roll. And good thing that they don't look up.
Island security.
So we've actually spent the last couple of days here just working on the laptops and things like that. It's a really, really nice little atmosphere to kind of work in. It's all very like homely and outdoors and everything like that. So it's been very, very nice to come here and work. Does it want me to stroke it or not? I don't know.
I think it's just
like
pleasuring itself on you.
Exactly. I get so confused with cats. Because I'm like, I don't know how to stroke a cat.
What do you want?
Exactly. And when I try and stroke it, it runs away and just strokes itself. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So this is a map of all the dive spots of Khiara. This is where we are now, and today we're going to be heading around this area. They call this just like the south side of the island, and apparently around near Frigate Island. They don't go there very much, but because they classify us as competent swimmers. I'm assuming because we live on a boat and they assume that we swim a lot on the boat, which we do. We're going to head over there.
Should be interesting for the photography point of view too, because when you're free diving with the camera, you often you're
shaky
frantically
as hell.
trying to control your buoyancy. And
exactly. You're down there and you're like, woo, the
often
GoPro.
Like I can't show you. We should get footage of me trying to get a steady shot one day, because like my backside is like floating up here somewhere, and I'm like frantically kicking downwards, and meanwhile I'm doing like a backwards arch trying to stay horizontal. And so
meanwhile we go back home and look at the footage and it's still like...
Last minute studying.
No, I totally well practiced.
Trying to be a top student in your course of one. Well, at least you can rest assured, if you graduate top of your class.
Okay. So I think it was both good for us to, we saw heaps of stuff actually. I suddenly remember what we saw. We saw like some we didn't see turtles. Oh my god. Of all the things that we could have seen, I chose that first one that we didn't see.
All the things we did see, you chose the one thing we didn't see today. To be fair, it's been a very turtle intense couple of weeks.
It has. We saw some nurse sharks, we saw some octopus, heaps and heaps of fish and like schools of fish too. It was actually really, really good. We went around the first...
How did she do, Skip? Right, get back here. We need a review of Khiara's performance. Just give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, you have to say that. Saturday today, so Monday we're going to come back and I'm going to finish off the rest of my thing.
What skills did you employ today?
So I learnt that I'm not great at navigation. I lost the boat. So my instructor man had to pop his head up and be like, where the hell has she taken us?
To be fair, that means he lost the boat too.
That's true, yeah, he did also lose the boat. Anyway, it was really, really good. It was actually really good to get back in there and get back in the water. I was super nervous before going in to the stage where I was like, oh, I feel really sick with nerves. But it was so fine. As soon as I got in the water, I was like, oh, it's just like riding a bike. It's just back to normal again, like completely fine. It's raining, and even though we're going to go in the water, I still don't want to go there. I still don't want to go out in the rain. It's still like, oh, that's wet. Even though we're going to go scuba diving now. Truly a tropical thunderstorm. This is crazy. I actually haven't seen rain this bad for like a long time. And just like that, it stopped. All beautiful sunshine and blue water again. So we're going to go and start our third dive now.
Well, that was a new PADI competency. It's called head first into the swell with full scuba gear on.
Yeah.
I couldn't, there was one that was like above my head. I was like, I just ran head first into it and came out the other side standing up.
Today's dive was my deep diving competency at a site on the south side of an island called Mabuya, not far from Sandy Island.
What happened today?
Oh, okay, so we went down there and I've never seen such a high swell. You could actually, okay, if these waves weren't breaking onto rocks, then I would say you could easily surf it. It was massive waves, massive, incredibly high waves. Underneath the water, it was very cloudy, it was very bad visibility. So we've decided to postpone any of the dives that we were going to do. We're going to do them tomorrow, and hopefully the visibility will be a bit better tomorrow.
So as Khiara said, the dives have been canned for the afternoon because the conditions were a bit rubbish. But we've sort of just been ginning around the dive shop. Khiara's got theory to do, but I'm otherwise just kind of being a nuisance. But no, what we have been doing is just chatting to the guys down here, just learning about all the kind of extra stuff they do. Like there's a lot more. It's a lot more than just a dive school. Conservationally speaking, which is kind of a new thing for us after Myrtle. Myrtle the Turtle's kind of promoted a real conservation bug.
Yeah. So speaking with these guys about it too, it's really interesting actually what they're doing. We'll get like Gary over.
We'll get Gary to tell you the proper story because I don't want to speculate.
Chat might need to be postponed.
It's bloody raining. I swear this never happens. It's always something.
Alright, we're running.
So essentially, like if the average person, like a wayward soul like Khiara and myself or whatever, if you weren't sailing, if you were just a diver, or perhaps you wanted to be a dive master, say you had aspirations to do that, could you come here and like spend, I don't know, what would be a time frame you could spend and do the training and the conservation of and get the dive time up and all that kind of stuff, and then
if
walk
you want
away?
to come down, I mean, the timing's open for you. If you're looking at doing something where you ended up as a dive master and doing some conservation work, then I would say come down here for 2 months. We can get you, even if you've never dived before, in that time we can teach you how to dive, we can get you involved in the conservation stuff, and we can work you all the way through to dive master. But if you wanted to max out on the conservation work, then it's as long as you want to be here. The program that we have rolls every 8 weeks. And so you could be here for 8, 12, 16, however long you wanted to be here for. There's always going to be something for you to do.
The plan for day 3 was to complete my wreck dive and finish off the day with some advanced buoyancy control training.
The last dive for the day was Khiara practicing advanced buoyancy control, which is pretty much clowning around underwater until you've mastered your buoyancy and orientation. My job was to not spit my regulator out from laughing too hard.
like to learn more about Deefer Diving and their volunteer program, check them out at caribbeanreefbuddy.org and deeferdiving.com, or at Deefer Diving on Insta and Facebook. Thanks for watching!